Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Kowloon Generic Romance episode number 8 reaction. So the previous episode, yes, again a few things were revealed to us. Again a few things made more sense at the end of previous episode. The biggest thing was obviously that people like from outside Kowloon and a lot of people who cannot resonate with Kowloon or cannot see Kowloon, they also cannot see the generic. That's what Hebunuma called them. They're not zirconians, they're not human beings, they're generic. They're like kind of like Kowloon, like a simulation kind of thing. So we have Reiko, who is a generic, and that's why she cannot go outside and like do anything. People cannot see them. Like the pizza delivery guy came in and saw this whole thing, and he couldn't even see her. So that's what's going on, and a lot of things made sense after that. For example, I was under the wrong impression that Reiko was a zirconian or like a clone or something, but turns out she's not. She's a generic. She's some completely different. You can say that she's similar to Kowloon. She's exactly the same as Kowloon. That is why a lot of people who stay here, who resonates with Kowloon, can probably see her, but a lot of people cannot, who doesn't resonate with Kowloon. And then obviously there's a lot of people here living who are like life flesh human beings, so everyone can see them though. And it's like it's a very interesting like a thing. And obviously I've said this from the very beginning, but I think Kudo is the one who is like resonating with Kowloon or Genectera, you could say. And a lot of things kind of fall into place if Kudo is the person who's resonating with Genetera. Like a lot of things would make sense. For example, why there is not a generic for Yao Ming, because he never knew Yao Ming. That's why he couldn't generate a generic. And stuff like this. So yeah. Anyways, let's see what happens today. Let's begin. Yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Yeah, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. They're all generics. And that's why Gwen also lived here. When the real Gwen came in, there you go. Just vanishes, overwrites. But that's not possible for Reiko because Reiko's dead. Yeah. Yeah, he realized everything. Yeah, he knows. Yeah. Yeah, so she is kind of okay. Like she won't disappear. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Crazy. That what? Uh yeah, okay, she'll get her answer there. Alright. Let's go back. Imagine being told that, oh, you don't exist actually. Mm. But wait, one thing. Mhm. Right. Again, dumpling. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and she's also eating, like, the food is also going in. Mm. Right. Okay. Another thing I was thinking, I didn't think about this. You know how I've been saying that Kudo is the one who's resonating with Genetera, and that is why all the people who Kudo knew, they have a generic version here. Like Gwen was there. Yaomei, he never knew Yaomei. Yaomei didn't exist. Yaomei's generic version didn't exist. Kujirai existed. So then one question comes in. Every other person's personality is exactly how Kudo envisioned it to be, right? That's the blueprint it should be, because if Kudo's resonating with Genetera, he would be the, like, the reference point. From his memories, like, things will get generated. Why is Reiko's personality so different? Shouldn't this Reiko, exactly her personality exactly be the same as the previous Kujirai Reiko? That's a big abnormality, I feel like. Why? Again, these are all based on speculations, because I don't even know if in reality Kudo is the one who's resonating with Genetera, or is it something else is completely going on. It might be something completely different. Then I guess this whole point of conversation is going to fall through. But if it is Kudo resonating with Genetera, and this is what's happening, why is Vijay's personality so different? Oh, fast again. I thought you're cheating. Oh, Sonia. Hmm. Hmm. What? Yeah, mahjong. Kowloon. Okay, is that his actual name? Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Overdose. Oh, the medicine. Sleeping pills. More pills than usual. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Name of the drug that killed her has been deleted from the record. What? Yeah. And that's why Kudo hated Hebinuma when he was brought up. He picked the demolition. Oh my god, that. Yeah, that's why. Okay, who the hell is this? Yeah. Passion, okay. Is this master? Wait, what? Wait, oh my god! So this is the real Xiaohe. But then why? Wait, what? Why is. Oh, you know what? Okay, scratch that. I have made a little bit of change to my theory. I'll talk about it later. No. No, no, she'll see you. Like, she resonated with Kowloon. No, it's. The whole thing is like bothering her. Yeah. Mm. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, because he's shackled to his past. Damn. Right after my blastocyst. Right. Okay, that's how. Wait, what? Oh, is that why? Because she was in Kowloon. Whatever she charges, it won't matter. It's a broken down place. Exactly. Exactly. I was saying that. So, damn. How? Bruh. Yeah. Ask everyone about what happened to Kowloon and everything. We'll get more information here. There you go. Urban legends. Great. I don't think that's gonna happen, but because Gwen goes back, comes back. Oh, this is that guy. It's that guy, right? Wait. Oh no, I'm misremembering stuff. Or wait, is he that guy? Okay, all the residents did. Okay, what's this urban legend about Kowloon people are talking about? Hmm. Yeah, there you go. Cover up. Oh wow. Okay, urban legends deleted. Oh, Hebinuma's family is. Oh, there you go. The second Kowloon exists. This is. Wait, this is that guy, Zhao He, right? The voice? I don't know. The voice is familiar. I've never met his resident, but I'm shocked. Okay. Groove. Okay, who's this guy? Yeah. Hmm. It's okay, take your time. Who that person are living in the Cancun? Oh, this is Yulong, I think, on the other side. Oh, yeah, it's Yulong. There you go. There he is. Hmm. Yeah. Good. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, everything was normal. She didn't even know. March. Okay. So wait, what? Oh, true. Wait, so people. Oh my god. And she never realized that. That's crazy. Hmm. Something. What? There he is. Yulong. He's just sitting beside her all the time. Bruh. Wait, what? Yeah, what the hell just happened? Hello? What? Right. 6 o'clock. So Yama is back. Wait, 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 wait. Okay, I think. Oh, are they trying to highlight the fact that it's always midsummer? Was that what it was in the end? July 1st. Wait, did they mention when did Kujira Reiko die? I don't remember. I think they did mention, right? I'm forgetting. Okay, I'll need to go back and recheck that section. Okay, wait, wait, just a minute. I need to go back. The date. So first and foremost, we have Yame saying, "Oh, I'm back." Gwenkun's here as well. Okay. So what was the date? July 1st, 6:15. Yeah, I think there's a biggest significance of the date, but I've forgotten any other date that they've mentioned in this show. Oh my god! I feel like I would have gotten a big hint here if I realized what's going on with the date. Because I just don't remember what date they have been speaking. Like dates are always one thing that I never pay attention in anime, and it always it comes to bite me in the back later. Oh god. Oh no. I feel like there's a big hint there. I just cannot understand it because of that. Like obviously one thing aligns perfectly, which is it's midsummer, July. But I'm just thinking of the have they mentioned before which day Reiko died? If they have mentioned, I guess there's like probably a connection here. But I cannot remember. Like I said, I always forget about like any type of date mentions in anime. I always forget about it. So maybe it was in this episode that they mentioned, and I'm just not finding it now. Um, Anyways, but a few things got cleared up. There wasn't any crazy revelation today, I would say, but there were a few interesting. Oh no, there was a crazy revelation. Zhao. What the hell? Zhao is a guy. Like the actual Zhao. The like live flesh human being, Zhao. You know what? Okay, so here's the thing. You know how I said this, like I was going to discuss about this in the discussion section. um i I said how like Kudo is the if he's like the person who's very resonating with Genetera, then how I said that how every single person who's a generic here, they are based off of Kudo's memories, you know and that is why I was kind of confused. I was like, if that's the case, why is Reiko so different? Like Kudo's like the Reiko that Kudo knew was different, completely different, her personality and everything. Why is it like this? I think there can be I can tweak that theory a little bit and say something else. Maybe the people are obviously based on who Kudo knows, but maybe the personality is based on their absolute selves. This absolute self that they talk about. You know why? Because I feel like Reiko's absolute self was this version, like Kujira Reiko before. Like it did seem like she was like very happy with herself, but maybe there was a part of her that wanted to be someone like the Reiko that is now here. Um, so that's why her personality is such a drastic change. I can say the same thing about Zhao He as well. You see how Zhao He was like when he was looking at the Zhao He of Kowloon. He said something about, "Oh, I love Lolita fashion." There you go. So maybe his absolute self, or I don't know, maybe it's someone like his absolute self is like a is someone like Zhao He that is living in Kowloon. Like otherwise, I don't know. Otherwise it wouldn't make any like there's like a little bit of a like like a little bit of a difference in the whole thing. Like I said, um, Kudo, I still think Kudo is like the like basic like blueprint. Like he's the one from where all the generics are coming from. You know. But then that's why I'm saying like if that's the case, why does Zhao He look like this? Or there could be another thing. You know, I don't know how he knew Zhao He, like how exactly he knew her, but you know what? I think we need more information about Xiaohe. We just don't have enough information about her. Like where she met Reiko, where she met Kudo. You know, because when we saw Xiaohe for the first time in this show, she was talking very normally with Kudo. They were good friends. You know, but I'm assuming like there was a time when she actually got to meet Kudo. When was that? When did she meet Reiko? You know, all these questions, unless and until these gets answered, I don't think I won't be able to understand the connection between this male Xiaohe and the female Xiaohe, because there's a lot of unanswered questions regarding Xiaohe. We need more information about her. Otherwise, I won't be able to like make any type of assumption or any type of speculations just because we don't have enough information. But one thing is pretty obvious that Zhao He is a guy outside. He loves Lolita fashion, that's for sure. So maybe that has some connection to. That's why I'm saying that maybe the absolute selves are the ones that like the personality comes out here in this Kowloon. You know. So yeah, let's just wait because I still am pretty confident in my theory that Kudo is the one from where all these generics are coming from. But then if that's the case, like I said, their personality is something that I have no answer to any at all, because if it is really Kudo from where all these generics are coming from, shouldn't their personality also be exactly how Kudo sees them? So why does Reiko's personality so different? Why is Zhaohe a girl here while in reality he's a guy? The life the human Zhao outside Kowloon, he's this guy. So these questions, I I don't know. I just don't have. If so we need more information here. Let's just wait. Let's just keep hold on that, because like I said, I still think Kudo's the one. Kudo's the one who is resonating with Genetera, and he's the reason why all these generics are here. He's like, you could say, the main power source of this whole place, something like that. So yeah, but you know what? Like I said, let's just wait, because I think we still need a little bit more information, because I don't think it's exactly how I thought it is. Like, but maybe there are something like, but I'm pretty confident on the entirety of my theory. But maybe like a few things inside of that theory are different. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, let's just wait. Either way, that was revealed. That was like, I think like that was like the biggest reveal of today. And then we also had like Yao Mei going to Hong Kong and talking about like Kowloon and everything. And yeah, obviously anything that you'll do in Kowloon are kind of imaginary. So any type of money that she topped up in Kowloon just gone outside Kowloon. I do wonder, after she comes back to Kowloon, will she get her money back again? I think so. I think she might. Um, so yeah, it's just not gonna work outside. So yeah. Now also we had Yao Mei talking to Yulo, and at first I thought that was Zhao He on the other side, and I was pretty concerned because Zhao He is actually working for Hebinuma, like Miyuki's father. So I was like, oh my god, if this is Zhao He on the other side, that is dangerous. Like it's not good. So, but then when I saw Yulong, I was like, oh, okay, we still don't know what his exact plan is, but I don't think his plan is anything that is going to go against Miyuki. And for now, at least, I could say that Miyuki and like Kudo and Reiko, they're, what they're like, the side that they are on kind of align with each other. Like, while we also have Miyuki's father and Xiaohe, the male Xiaohe, on the other side. So anything that helps Miyuki will probably help Reiko for now, at least. There might be there's a possibility in the future that, like, his whatever he's going to do is going to go against us. But for now, at least, whatever he's doing, and if he is, like, like being helped, then it'll also help our, like, Reiko and Kudo, their, like, whole thing as well. Because for now, at least, Miyuki is kind of, like, allied with us in a, weird way, you could say. Like, he wants to know the secret of this whole generic thing as well, because he wants to do the same thing to his father. So I'm assuming it is in his best interest that Reiko stays safe, Kudo stays safe, all these people stay safe. So for now, at least, Miyuki is on our side, at least. So since Yulong is, I'm guessing when Yulong was saying that, oh, I'm trying to help a friend, I think that was the truth, and I think that was the friend that he was talking about was Miyuki, I'm assuming, or maybe it is Gwen. Who knows? I think it might be Miyuki. It's probably Miyuki. But anyways, so whatever Yulong, all this information that Yulong got, I feel like it's not going to go against us. It'll probably help us out in the long run, because he will do his own research in his own way. So But anyways, for now at least, I think everything is okay. If it was Xiaohui on the other side, that would have been a disaster, I feel like. So thank God that wasn't the case. Anyways, another thing that got like revealed here, not revealed I would say, but that got pointed out here, is that it's always midsummer in Kowloon. This part, where is this part where she says, like, it was March, it was cold at night, I wanted to find a place before sunset. Oh, okay, you know what, I think this is why they showed the date. How long did she say she was staying in Kowloon? 6 months, right? She said 6 months, right? So she's saying that after plastic surgery, she found Kowloon. It was March. So if it was March when she started living in Kowloon, that would mean April, May, June, July, August, September. It should be September now in Kowloon. It's June, or what was it, July in the end that we see? What was it? June or July? Wait a minute. Okay, just a minute. July. So it's July 1st. I need to keep that date in mind because, like I said, I feel like maybe it's like stuck in a day or something, or maybe it's like rotating. The days are rotating, like it's in a loop or something. Who knows? It's kind of weird. How did nobody figure this out up until now? Everyone's just been living like, because it was March outside, as they said, as she said, and when she came in, and so it's always midsummer here. So according to Yao Mei, if it was March when she came here and she's living here for 6 months, it should be September, like March, April, May, June, July, August, September. It should be September now. Like, I'm not even talking about Yao Mei because Yao Mei, I guess, like, whatever, she just didn't register in her head. What about Reiko? She never realized that it was like the time is going in a weird way. I guess maybe not, because she's also a product of Kowloon or something like that. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So that's what's happening here. That is, I think that is why they showed the date at the end. Or maybe there's something else we'll get to know later. Right. Anyways, so yeah, that is what Yao Mei was saying. Okay, another thing. Just a minute. Let me see. When she was talking about. Okay, here it is. 6 months ago, I was discharged, there you go, 6 months ago, from a clinic and looking for a place to stay. It was March. It was cold at night. I wanted to find a place before sunset. I found the lights of Kowloon. I hurried to enter Kowloon and... Wait, where did she go to do plastic surgery? She went so much outside, I guess because she didn't want people to know, because everyone would recognize her. She was pretty damn popular, So that's why she went on, probably in a remote place, to do her plastic surgery. And that remote place was close to the place that Kowloon was situated. And she went outside, and she probably didn't want to go back home. And that is why she resonated with Kowloon, like, because Kowloon is a place where, yeah, people It's like a different type of place. So she resonated with Kowloon, and she saw Kowloon, and she was like, "Oh, okay, let's go there." And she went there, and there you go. So yeah, according to her, since it was 6 months before, it should be September now, but it's not. It's July. So yeah, okay. Right. So there you go. These were the few things that was revealed to her. Like I said, today was no crazy revelation. There wasn't the Xiaohe's revelation was pretty damn crazy. But other than that, nothing that much. Like because for the couple of episodes, I think like every single episode, the ending always ended in a way where they revealed something significant, which completely changed my whole thought process about how everything is going. I remember in the first episode, I was thinking about about Reiko having like split personality or amnesia or something. And look at me now. Like in these 6 or 7 episodes, 8 episodes, so much have changed. Little by little, every single episode they have revealed something significant, which completely changed the whole narrative of the story. And I had to rewrite and rethink about everything and rethink like, oh, maybe this is what's happening. And then again, next episode, something else gets revealed, which completely made me change my mind again. Because like I said, at first I was split personality, then by the next episode I was like, no, it's amnesia. And then after that episode I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on, something else going on. This is neither amnesia, neither split personality, this is a completely different person. And then I think at the end of like the 5th episode or something, I was like, yeah, the original Kujira Reiko is dead, this is someone else. And now currently, like at that point I didn't know who this new Kujira Reiko, and now currently we know who this Kujira Reiko is. She is a product of like Kowloon city, I guess you could say. Like she's a generic, like a lot of the other people that are here. And who knows, maybe by the end of this season, um, currently, what I'm thinking, maybe at like 12, at the 12th episode or something, it'll be completely different. Like a lot of other things would have changed, and I would have probably changed my whole mind about this show, and thinking about it in a different way. But I don't know. I feel like currently we are in a position where I think I'm correct about a few things, at least regarding Kudo and the resonation, like resonating genetera, all that stuff. I think I'm correct about a few things at least. But yeah, there's still a few things that still don't make sense, or not make sense, I would say, but still are kind of hazy. So yeah. All right. Now what else? I think that was it. That was today's episode. Oh, also the fact that Miyuki, is trying to do all of these things, but his father is like has Xiaohe with him, so he is using Xiaohe to keep an eye on them, and like all these things. So that's also another thing that's going on. I guess Miyuki doesn't know about that. All right, and yeah. Oh, another thing was revealed. How Kuji Areko died. Like I was asking in the previous episode, I was like, how did she die? Um, so it was overdose. Now, there's still obviously a lot of questions. Like why did she do that? Was that in no way was that accidental? As Yulong said, that was not accidental. Like she like something definitely happened that she took so many at the same time. So yeah, now the question is, like I said, is this actually her taking her own life, or is this someone else like doing something to her? There's a possibility, like obviously, like we shouldn't scratch out the possibility that maybe this was actually someone killing her. But yeah, but it's just like a weird way to do it if it's someone else, like right. But again, like I said, I'll keep every like route open. There might be something else going on. Like I shouldn't like just confine myself in one direction only. But for now, at least, like it seems like she is the one who did it. She took her own life. But who knows? Maybe something else is going on. I don't know. The show loves completely changing the whole like narrative in a matter of a few seconds at the end. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Okay. And there you go. That was today's episode. Another good episode. So yeah. Okay, and the very first. Okay, let me talk about now that I've given my overall impression. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see. Obviously, we start from that section where we left off. Yao is like, "Whoa, why? No, she's here. I can touch her. This and that." But yeah, then like Gwen kind of elaborates on what actually happened here. So he talks about like how they did the whole experiment thing, and he saw the original person just disappearing. Not original person, sorry, the generic version disappearing. So and they also kind of like say the stuff that I was saying in the previous episode. One of them is that how Kureko at least is in no fear of getting erased because the actual Kujireko is dead. So that's one thing. Also, how Gwen, the Gwen that was living here at the beginning, the bartender Gwen, he also disappeared, and this is also where Reiko was like, wait, so that is why Kudo asked me like about Gwen that day, and he understood everything. And this is also why Reiko realizes that Kudo knows about these type of things, like what's going on here. So anyways, in the end, obviously Yame is like, no, I'm not going to believe this. I'm going to go to Hong Kong and I'm going to see. I'm going to confirm it myself that Reiko does exist. And you can see here Gwen was like, oh, she might get into trouble over there because obviously she doesn't have money. But then he was like, okay, she at least has my number with me, so it's fine. She'll be able to contact me. It's okay. Right. So then, Gwen leaves, and after that, Reiko comes in contact with Kudo. Now, later on, we get to see Gwen thinking about how weird this is, like talking to someone who you knew, but who's also not the same person. But still, when you're talking to that person, you can't help but get attracted to that person because you loved that person before. So he's realizing what Miyuki is trying to do to his father, and how this might affect him, like this. So okay, so that was that. Now after that, we get a little bit of a flashback again from the past. Kujirai Reiko, the past Kujirai Reiko was doing mahjong with and she was like winning it and everything. And then this is also where Kudo talks to Reiko about the prescription that falls down, and she's like, oh, it's insomnia medicine, like it's just pills, sleeping pills. Like she talks about how she always had that, she had trouble sleeping and all that. And this is also where Kudo was like, oh, so today I'm going to make you have so much fun that you'll go to sleep on your own. Right. So yeah, that was that. And that is where we got to know about Kujirai getting sleeping pills, like consuming sleeping pills, which comes into question later on. After that, we get to see Miyuki, and okay, so he, what's his name? Haoran. So he says, "Close the curtains, Haoran," and he's like, now here's the thing. I kind of misunderstood this part. I thought that this guy, like Miyuki, his name is Haoran because he was adopted. Like this is another thing that was revealed in the previous episode, and I understood. I thought up until the previous episode that Miyuki is also a Zirconian or something like that, but no, Miyuki is an actual person. The thing with Miyuki is different. Miyuki is not related in any way to this guy. He adopted him, and he adopted him because after his actual son died. And now I'm realizing at the end that Haoran is not this guy's name, Miyuki's name. Haoran probably was his son's name or some kind of a nickname, maybe. I'm not really sure. It must be his son's name. His son's name was probably Haoran Hebinuma or something like that. And he calls him Haoran, and that is why Miyuki was like, "Father, I'm not Haoran, I'm Miyuki." And then his father was like, "Here we go, Father, I'm Miyuki." Like he kind of made a mistake. He called him with his son's name. and that's when he was like, that's what I called you. So I don't know. I think his son's name was Howran, his actual son. And this, he gave Miyuki this is Miyuki is like his actual name or something like that. Okay, so there you go. Next we have Miyuki talking to Yulong and talking about, like, like the prescriptions and the sleeping pills and all that. And our doctor was kind of the one who prescribed her the sleeping pills. So he's kind of blaming himself, but that's not what it is, because she consumed a lot of sleeping pills. In no way would someone make a mistake like that. So something else is going on. So this is also where, yeah, they wouldn't kill her unless she took tens or thousands of them. He didn't cause her death, but I'm not surprised he feels responsible. So Yulon says, then which pills caused this? She lived in second Kowloon walled city 3 years ago. The name of the drug that killed her has also been deleted from all the records. And Miyuki's like, I see. If that's the case, then I have a strange connection with Kujirai Reiko. So turns out his father did this. So okay, here we go. Her loved ones must hate Hebinuma for this. Yeah, which we know, which we saw, like Kudo hated. He's like, I bet. Well, the one they should hate is your dad. On top of that, he picked the demolition of second Kowloon walled city as your first job to squash your birth data, and you know what. Now this you know what, I have no idea what this is. And he's like, yes, he's a truly detestable man. So right, so yeah, like a lot of these things are done by the old guy, the Hebinuma, because he wanted to shove a lot of things under the rug. Okay, and then while all of this is going on, we have what's his name? Um, Zhao. Right. In Kowloon City, looking at Reiko, Kudo, and Zhao. He zooms in on Zhao and says, "Oh, I love Lolita fashion." And then his boss calls him, and he's like, "Oh, this is Zhao talking. Hello, this is Zhao." And I'm like, "What?" So yeah, this is Zhao, the actual Zhao. So yeah, a lot of new questions pops up here, like I said. But I'm gonna wait. I think we need more information about Zhao unless and until we can say something. So you know, yeah. But one thing we get to know here is Miyuki's father. He knows a lot of things that are going on over here, and Miyuki doesn't realize that. Anyways, then after that we have Reiko is like moving on, like moving with, like walking with Kudo. Kudo's like talking to her and everything, and this is where in that section where the place got demolished, Kudo is like, Reiko's like, oh, like you told me to don't leave this place, you know you will not leave this place too, right? And and then Kudo hugs her and says, like, yeah, I'm also not going to leave this place. And in his head he was saying, even if I'm the last person living here, so yeah, even if this world is empty. Okay, after that we have Yame in Hong Kong. She doesn't have money, and when she calls Gwen says, like, yeah, you topped up in Kowloon, it's not going to work here because Kowloon doesn't exist. So he gives her a little bit of money, and then she goes off to find more information. And a lot of people she's asking about Kowloon, everyone's like, oh, that place got destroyed, it's an urban legend, this and that. And then we have this old man here who gives her a few information, and then he's like, oh, some say it was demolished in a Hebinuma group cover up. He also then says, like, I cannot give you more information about this. uh, Go to the internet, check out the forums, you might get something there. So immediately she leaves for an internet cafe, and she sees all the questions and, like, like any type of conversation related to Kowloon city has been just wiped out. So it's again Hebinuma, they're doing this and to cover up whatever. But there was someone online at that moment. Obviously, since Yulong was online at that moment and the conversation didn't happen, he like his whole thing didn't get wiped out. So they start having the conversation, and then Yulong asks her a lot of questions. She also asks Yulong a lot of questions, um, and you know he says, I want to prove his existence, and and he says like I want to like to prove its existence we need to find out why it exists. So he asks her a lot of questions, tells her that oh, like do you feel something weird over there, this and that, and you know okay, so Yulong also says, I'm doing this for my dear friend. So okay, now here's the thing. Yulong gives a lot of like points, so I'm just going to read it. Okay, dead people are living in the current Kowloon as if they never died. Example, Yao Mei's friend. Nobody around them seems to question this. Some are duplicates of still living people. Both versions cannot coexist. When the original enters Kowloon, then the copy is the one that disappears. So yeah, these are all true. This is what's going on. Okay, so another friend of mine told me about this. He's an outsider. It's talking about Gwen. Uh, he said he used to live in Kowloon and he used to have a doppelganger. Am I an anomaly? Oh, okay. You know what? Another thing I'm thinking. Maybe it needs to be a person who lived in Kowloon from the very beginning to have a generic. I never thought about that. Yeah, that is possible. All the generics that we see in Kowloon, maybe they are only there because their original version actually lived in Kowloon. You know, something like that maybe. Before it got demolished, they lived there. That's why. Yeah, that's a good point because Yao made Yao Mei, yeah, she didn't live in Kowloon. She came to Kowloon after like Kowloon got demolished and this this Kowloon, this generic Kowloon got created. So that's why Yao Mei never had a generic version of her in this world. Yeah, that's possible. That's also another thing. I was thinking up until now maybe it's based on Kudo's memories. Maybe not. Maybe it's just based. Maybe it's not that complicated. Maybe it's very simple. Um, all the people who lived in Kowloon before it got demolished, they all have a generic version here. Yeah, you know what? That seems more plausible. Yeah, I'm gonna change my speculation, my theory or something. Yeah, it's not based on Kudo's memories. It's based on the fact that every single person who lived here before the demolition, has a version here, generic version here. But then that will bring another question, which is Hebinuma. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, why does Hebinuma not have a generic here? Hebinuma also lived in Kowloon. Okay, no, scratch that. Okay, I don't know, man. I have no idea. Okay, you know what? Scratch that. No, that has a few inconsistencies. This theory has a few inconsistencies. Like I was saying, that if all it was needed was to live in Kowloon before it got demolished, then Hebinuma should have a generic version as well. I'm not talking about the, you know, the original. This Hebinuma, Miyuki Hebinuma, he lived in Kowloon, right? Yeah, he lived in Kowloon. So he should have a generic version here. He never had a generic version here. Why? Yeah, because hmm, wait, let me think. Hebinuma, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm correct. He doesn't have a generic version because like yeah, Gwen had a generic version, but he never had a generic version. Okay, yeah, so that's what like yeah. Anyways, so okay, you know what? I'm going back again. I think the whole Kudo theory still holds true for me at least now. It's based on Kudo's memories because that would answer a lot of questions. why Hebnuma, like Miyuki didn't have a generic version, because Kudo didn't know him personally. And why Yaume as well, Kudo didn't know Yaume, that's why. So yeah, you know what, let's wait and see. Like I said, I think overall my theory is pretty solid, but there's a few things inside of it that might need to change, which we will probably realize little by little as we get more clues. After that, she talks about she started living in Kowloon 6 months ago, and then she was like, wait a minute, it was March back then, and now it's always midsummer in Kowloon. Um, it's always midsummer in Kowloon. Yeah, it's the same in town. The only thing that hasn't changed is Genetera in the sky. I've only worn summer clothes since coming to Kowloon, and she never realized it. That's also a weird part. While in Kowloon, nobody questions these things. Yeah, because every day is a holiday. Because like obviously, normally, if you see that it's the same damn season for 6 months, you'll be like, what the hell is happening? She never questioned it. Why? That's such a big thing to question. So yeah, this is why I think, like they said, like everyone living in Kowloon, they never question the existence of the other person, or everything's like normal in Kowloon. Like it's like they're living like a normal life. They don't question these abnormalities. Okay, this might be an important key to proving the existence of Kowloon. Anything else? And then she's like, no, I don't have enough information. But then she also talks about the rumor that Hebnuma group covered it up, the demolition of Kowloon. I don't know what they're covering up, but this is what I've heard. In Kowloon, right? There's something like that. So they didn't show it. She was like, I'll check it out when I return. So we don't know what this thing is. I guess we'll get to know this later. So it's 11:15 p.m. at night. So she's like, I'll stay in Hong Kong, return to Kowloon first thing in the morning, exchange contact information. She gets contact information, and then Yulong comes out, and Yulong's like, oh yeah, take the toffee, take the candy. Okay, now this another weird thing happened, which I actually didn't think about up until now. When I was reacting, I did find it weird, but then something else caught my attention so much off guard after that, seeing Reiko sleeping beside Kudo, that I didn't linger and think about that. What the hell was this echo? It's as if someone's calling Reiko, and she's like, Reiko Pon, but it was just the phone. Why? What was that echo about? Yeah. So Reiko gets this message. Yakopon, I'm back. Can I see you now? Gwen-kun's here too. And then she tries to leave. It's 6 p.m. At 6 a.m. Then she and Kudo kisses. And then they show the phone. It's July 1st. So yeah, there you go. It should be September. Since Yame started living here 6 months ago, it was March then. So it's always midsummer in Kowloon. Right. And there you go. That was yeah, that was today's episode. So we didn't have, like I said, a crazy revelation, but we had a few small revelation which will probably become something big in the next, because this whole thing that they said in the end, that there's something in Kowloon that they didn't reveal to us, the audience, that we'll probably get to see next episode. So yeah, let's wait and see. So that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 8 of Kowloon Generic Romance. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Kowloon Generic Romance. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.